What's good, guys? It's your boy DB, and I'm being joined today by my buddy RamBam001. You can find him over on YouTube and Twitch, so be sure to check him out, subscribe, support another fellow creator in his community. And how you doing, RamBam?
Well, what's going on, DB? What's going on, the 125th Legion? Thank you for having me on the channel. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, man, we've mentioned doing a collab for a little while now. We've obviously, as usual, my schedule's crazy, the time zones, having a baby and all that. But we got it. We finally got it done. We're here. And CG have actually kind of given us some news to actually make a video about for a change. This is something we don't usually have. It's usually trying to figure out what we can talk about. But they have finally announced that new game mode. And they've given some details on the Galactic War report. They're saying it's going to be a 1 to 7 day thing. It's going to have modifiers based on the environment and the enemies and such. There's supposedly 7 tiers of difficulty, 3 feats for each tier. We can kind of play it when we want, and it's supposed to stay sort of fresh with the challenge and puzzle theme of the event sort of changing like week to week. So what do you think about this? Are you excited when you heard the road ahead? Or are you a little bit like me and we're kind of like, we waited 3 or 4 months and kind of didn't get any real information?
That's exactly how I was. When I first reacted to it, obviously I was like, look, this is exactly what the community's been asking for. This is exactly what I've been asking for. You know, logging in and having 2 minutes worth of simming stuff to do on a daily basis, it's not fun for anybody. We need something that utilizes the full roster, which they're going to give us, and something that you know, we can do day in and day out, which according to what they're saying, they're going to give us. Yeah. So it's not really that I mean, I'm happy for the fact that they're giving us something that we've been asking for, but we waited 3 months for that. I don't see a real reason as to why it had to wait for 3 months. We got no screenshots. We got absolutely nothing. And they did say in the Galactic War report that you know, they didn't have everything finalized, and so that's why they didn't have screenshots and whatnot. But I don't know. I feel like they could have, if they had included this with the Vader and the Luke reveal and all that stuff back in you know, maybe May or something. Yeah, it might have been worth it.
Yeah, the thing is, we've waited so long, and then they kind of just said, you know, the user interface isn't ready yet, so they can't take a screenshot and stuff. And it's like, well, surely you could have given us this bit of like non-information, which is incredibly vague and doesn't really, you know, say much of anything. Couldn't you have given it this like the other month? Why did it take so many extra months to still give us very little like insight to what this even is? If it wasn't for the Galactic War report, we had an even more just vague road ahead, where most people are like, okay, cool, there's a Galactic something or other mode coming along, and we have no clue how this works. So yeah, I was expecting a little bit more information, some sort of like timeline for this. You know, we aim to have this finished in the next couple of months. We aim to, you know, something along those lines. So at the moment, it's kind of like the first breadcrumb. And it's like, why did that take 4 months? Particularly when you cancelled the raid you said you were working on. What were you doing in that time?
Well, they've canceled everything. I mean, you know, we can't get a Mace Windu rework. You know, we can't get any Galactic Republic Jedi reworks at all, essentially. We canceled the raid. They said no to sandbox mode, no to live PvP. I mean, the list goes on, and this is what they've been putting out, which, I mean, again, I'm ecstatic for what the game mode brings. Yeah. There's no reason as to why it should have taken 3 months to give us this little tiny bit of info that doesn't reveal anything. It doesn't reveal when it's going to come. It doesn't reveal anything about the game mode other than what the game mode is intended to do. Yeah, that's the problem with it. I think if we were going to be waiting these months that we've waited, I thought that was because we were waiting for the user interface to be finished and we could get those screenshots. But that hasn't happened. I did take off the Galactic War report that they said that they are integrating Unity game software or Unity game engine into Galaxy Heroes, which could be a step in the right direction. Dealing with the framework issues and the lag and all that stuff could be, and so I'm happy for that. It's just hopefully, because I heard about the game engine is gonna be crazy. Yeah, I heard about the old the Unity upgrade, but what a lot of Reddit have missed, because I've seen some posts on there, and they're like speaking about, oh, it's amazing, it's going to shift to Unity, and Dragon Champions and stuff use Unity as well, so I'm familiar with it.
But the thing is, if you check the data mines, they were already on Unity, just an older version. And we still had like countless issues then, so it shouldn't be such a massive transition unless they were using multiple different programs and coding languages and stuff, and like trying to combine it and make it all work together in some way, which would explain all the, you know, fix one bug, cause two other issues that they have. But yeah, it's kind of how most of these videos that I do go, that they give us some news, and it's kind of like, I'm always like, I hope this works. I hope that's always the case in these videos. I would love to just, for once, them to drop some news and it's like, awesome. You know, outside of the Vader thing, I mean, I loved that. I don't know about you, but I really did like the Vader rework. I thought that was a great bone to throw people that are miles off those Galactic Legends. I'm close to my first, but there's so many that are still even further behind me. What did you think of the Vader rework?
I absolutely loved the Vader rework. I thought that it was a very good step in the right direction, especially coming off the heels of what I would consider probably the best event that Galaxy Heroes has ever run, the Jedi Knight Luke event. If anybody has the chance to play for it, I highly recommend you play that event. It was just perfection at its finest. There was maybe a couple flaws if you wanted to be real nitpicky, but I really enjoyed the event. And then, you know, a couple days later, we get the Vader rework, or touch up, as they say. And the fact that it, within 5-10 minutes, people are already beating Galactic Legend Rey with it easily. I understand why Galactic Legend Rey owners would be a little bit slighted. You know, especially there's people that, you know, they spent 5, 10, you know, $10,000 or so trying to get Rey, and then a complete free-to-play character like Vader is easily beating them. I feel I understand where people are coming from, but the community need a bone thrown to them. Especially after everything that we've done or dealt with over the last, you know, 8 months, year or so, the community needed a win, and Vader was a step in the right direction for that win.
Yeah, I mean, it's pleased a lot of people. There were so many people that were just like, oh, I'm so sick of this game right now, and they were checking out the other titles like Marvel Strike Force, Dragon Champions, Raid, and so on. I mean, there's no shortage of options, and Vader seemed to be the one that kind of turned a lot of people's heads back. Like, wow, really, I can actually compete again with a character that I've had for so long. So I thought it was a really nice touch. But CG, obviously, a lot of people have been concerned about this as well. They're like, wait a minute, this is smashing those legends. They're going to nerf this. And CG did say that they're watching the interaction with Rey, which is going to concern some. But in my opinion, I understand it. I get it. There's a lot of people that have only just got Rey. Many people that have had Rey for a while, and many people that are still like chasing and really close to her. And the last thing they want is to have done all that grind for so many like C-tier characters, only to not be able to do anything with their Rey. So I get they're watching that interaction. What I'm happy about is they said that they're pleased that Vader is able to beat 501st and the other teams, and I'm glad that won't be nerfed. If anything, it kind of looks like they will buff Rey slightly in order to not basically just be massacred by this Vader rework, and I support that. I understand that, and it's kind of. I'm hoping the community don't go up in arms when that eventually happens. I mean, there's still a character that can beat just about everything. And I don't really think it should be beating the Galactic Legends so easily anyway. What do you think?
I'm happy that they are beating Galactic Legends. And it's really just Rey that they're beating easily. Yeah. Kylo, it's still a toss-up coin. And you know, with Watt, that's the only reason Vader works, is because of Watt. Without Watt, Vader does not work. So it's a win. I would love to see them continue to be able to beat Galactic Legends. I don't think that's going to stay the case, but a couple of points I want to bring up. In the past, if something has not been working as CG is intended, we're now, you know, 5-6 days into the Vader rework beating GLs. CG would have said something by now, and the fact that they came on Galactic War Report and said that they know about Vader beating Galactic Legends and that they will continue to monitor it, and if something does not go as they want, then they'll make changes. that tells me that they intended on him to beat Galactic Legends, at least for this time being. Now, my other prediction, and I was having this talk with some of my community members.
Okay.
I predict that this quarter is not going to be that expensive, or not that relevant for him. You got people that are protesting the game. You got people that said they're not going to go for Jedi Luke. You got people that aren't going to go for Galactic Legends.
Yeah.
And so they need something to recoup their money back. So I think that what they're going to do is not buff Rey and Kylo as far as kits, but instead bring out a character that is a marquee or something that people will want to wail on, especially for Rey users, to kind of counter that Vader rework.
It's a possibility. It'd be a smart move on their part if they're trying to capture some more money. I can't imagine Reddit will be too happy, but another character to develop.
When is Reddit ever happy?
Yeah, that is a fair point. When are most of the community happy, to be honest? I mean, I'm rarely happy with the stuff they do either, so I understand. But right. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a possibility they could go. I get the feeling, because what I initially thought was that they were going to do something to Watt, because let's face it, every team that comes out, he's used in some way, shape, or form of bloody countering them. So I've for so long I thought they're going to do something to him, they're going to do something to 3PO, and yet they've left them untouched. I've been quite surprised. So yeah, it's kind of up in the air.
I would be extremely pissed if they changed the plot.
Yeah, a lot of people would.
I recently just took him up to Relic 7 because of the fact of his usability.
Yeah,
like he's that good of a character. And the only counter I don't know that he's a part of is the JKL or Revan Jedi Knight Revan team with Gas and Hermit Yoda.
Okay,
that's really the only team I think that he does not have a part in that can still beat Galactic Legends. But every other counter involves fly.
He's used in one of the Jedi Luke ones that I've had a few of my guildmates testing. Yeah, he seems to be used in all of the Rey counters, and he's everywhere. He's kind of like how General Kenobi used to be. You know, like every team comes out and it's like compatible with General Kenobi. It's kind of something you've got used to, like, or Thrawn even, you know?
He's like how General Kenobi is still for CG, because every time
they still recommend him.
Galactic Republic comes out, recommended characters, General Kenobi. It's like, how many times how many teams does General Kenobi fit in?
Yeah,
every team essentially.
Like Houndstooth and Fleet, just in absolutely every single team. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. I think if they might do something in the way to raise kit that might keep Vader still able to beat, but not so consistently, perhaps, because I saw one of Ian's videos and it was like gear 12 or something, and beating it really easily, and they like you to spend on the gear and on the relics. So they might do something where it will still work, but only if you max this out, at the expense of more Kairos and more salvage. So I wouldn't be shocked if they do something along those lines, to be honest. But at the moment, Vader, I think that the people that are holding off, that are nervous of impending nerf, shouldn't be. I think you can go and do that, Zeta. You can go and develop him anyway, because you're probably going to have to for Luke. So I think he's still going to be an incredibly usable character, much like Luke, where he's not the alpha, but he can still beat more or less anything. And he's a very usable character, especially for those that don't have a Galactic Legend or are nowhere near.
I recently got Luke.
Okay.
And yeah, I actually got him a couple of days before the event ended. Completely, I didn't spend any money on him at all. I did, however, have a couple patrons, or one patron, Fighting Drunk, donate for the gear. So everybody knows Fighting Drunk. So without him, I wouldn't have gotten Jedi Knight Luke, but I did not spend any of my own money, so I'm very proud of that. But he is a staple character as far as bringing Jedi to a new light. But there's something missing, because the recommended reworks, or the recommended characters to use Luke with, they're all being taken by other teams. Grandmaster Yoda, you're not going to split up Jedi Knight Revan from Grandmaster Yoda. That's breaking a team. You're not going to split up GK from Padme. That's breaking up a team. So
that was the problem, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Literally, the core characters that they require to be run with Luke are all being used somewhere else. So what I think, and maybe it's because I'm a Mace Windu fanatic.
Yeah, we know.
And there's right? Who doesn't know that? Clone Wars Chewbacca is the login reward. So maybe I'm just thinking too far into it. Maybe Clone Wars Chewbacca means nothing. Maybe it's just CG trolling, or maybe it could mean Galactic Republic reworks, which would come right at the time that people have Luke and really no team to really run him with other than some hodgepodge Jedi, because obviously he doesn't work with Old Republic Jedi.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest problem, like you said, was that it broke so many teams. A lot of people are like, oh, great, we got a second Jedi team for territory battles, but you kind of don't, because you got to break up all the other teams that can get clear waves in order to run that team. So overall, you end up with less waves in the anyway, and it's like, what? So
but the fact that Luke can go into light side Geonosis territory battles at gear 12 and 4v4,
that's
4 out of 4
nuts,
a zone. Impressive.
Yeah.
And all that I think is due to the fact of the speed counter that he has.
It brings everyone else down.
Right. They don't take 8 million turns. They take 8 million turns at first, and then they're all neutralized. And
that's one of the hardest things in territory battles, I think, is you need a team to be so survivable they can take all those initial shots so you can actually last long enough to play the bloody battle in the first place.
Right.
So that's been a real nice touch, kind of reversing the speed meta in a way. I really do like Luke. I'm actually going to get him next as soon as I've done with Kylo. I'm not embarking on another 6-month grind for Rey.
Rey's not really worth it. In my opinion.
Especially now they've kind of made Kylo the alpha, which is what I expected anyway. That's what I recommended people go for when they first announced the kits. I said, go Kylo. I've got a feeling about this, guys. And sure enough, he's now solos the raid. It's the top arena team, better offensive squad. So yeah, it's a pretty good investment, I think. And then the big game mode. It remains to be seen what information we actually get and how far off this even is. I get the feeling it's going to be kind of a blend between Assault Battles and Marvel Strike Force's Blitz.
Blitz or maybe Dark Dimension.
Yep, could be something like that as well, actually. So yeah, it remains to be seen. I hope that the difficulty factor that they're talking about, where they say it'll scale up so everyone can take part, I hope it's actual strategy based and not just their usual go-to of make everything faster and turn up the RNG. That's my only real fears with this. Is usually what they do to increase difficulty. Just more speed, more randomness. So I guess we'll see.
I hope it's not the case, but it's what I'm worried about is, with every new piece of content, there has to be a paywall. There has to be something that they make money off of. Yeah. So where I'm concerned about this is, where I think they might try to paywall it is probably with the feats or the requirements or whatever. You can use any character, right? But if you want to get these feats and this special gear, or maybe they make the gear really juicy, or maybe Zetas or something like that. Yeah. You have to use these specific characters. Oh, by the way, nobody has these characters, or they're not any good. Yeah. And so, then you have to invest in those characters. I think that might be where the paywall would be at. Yeah. But I mean, again, we have no information, so it remains to be seen realistically.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that get your Relic 7 Hoth scouts and stuff like that. But I'm
hopeful. I really think this is a good point for the game. Yeah. I think I've had a lot of people on Twitter, on Reddit, on every media site that I've been looking at. They're like, I kind of think I want to come back now. And that hasn't been something I've seen in years, frankly.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm 28 great stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited about a new game mode. We've been waiting for ages. They say it won't get boring like Galactic War did eventually. They're hyping this as kind of something that's going to keep people interested and wanting to play. So fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed that's what we get, because that's what we need. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to wrap up there, buddy. Thank you for joining me in this video. Appreciate it. We've wanted to do this for a long time. We finally got collab number 1 done, so we'll start working on other ones as well.
All right. Thank you for having me, DB. It's always a pleasure.
You're welcome, mate. Be sure to check out RamBam's channel, and you know the deal. Until next time, guys, we out of here.